I want to do a hip hop praise and worship, which I feel like Won't He Do It is the first song that's leading over to this hip hop praise and worship to show churches how the hip hop generation worships and how we praise God, and that you don't have to be afraid of it, because you got a lot of these other people are embracing it, just not our churches, which is
it's crazy.
It's insane to me.
It's crazy.
You know, you got all of these white churches that embrace hip hop.
They've been embracing it for years.
And use it as a tool to minister to their kids, and we don't.
Come on.
And I do not understand it. It is our art form. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, what do we need to do to reach the youth? Play the beat. It's so simple. It's so simple. Play the beat.
Let's get the people what they want. The Wade-O Radio Show.
This interview is brought to you by our sponsor, Devin Turner. This MC and pastor is not only putting out great music, but he's doing phenomenal work in his community and abroad. Check out his new album, Luminary, available on all digital outlets. For more info, visit his website at devinturner.org. It's DJ Wade-O, of course. We are with the OG.
Yeah.
I gotta call him Pastor Canton Jones now.
I'm an OG now. That's what that means. You old, bro.
No, man, you been an OG though, bro. You pioneered so much stuff in this scene, bro.
I just took a lot of chances.
You was an OG even when you was like 21 in this joint, bro.
Just took a lot of chances. Got beat up a lot. That's all.
Hey, man, but we thankful you did it though, because you opened so many doors for all the rest of us.
Praise God. Amen. Amen.
Okay, so I want to start with this. I got a lot of stuff I want to ask you, but I got to start with this.
All right.
How was the Stellar Awards the first time you won a Stellar, bro?
Man, amazing.
How did that happen, though?
I don't know. I'm serious, bro. I had entered my music in 2009. That was the last time that I had been nominated for a Stellar. My dad was still alive at that time. Wow. I was nominated for 8 Stellars that year.
Wow.
And I lost every last one of them. So, you know, me, I'm a sore loser. I hate to lose anything. Checkers, trouble, anything, bro.
Connect for it.
Yeah, that's it. So I didn't enter my music again, to be honest.
Wow.
You know, I had a real attitude with the situation. So we were performing, but I still didn't enter my music.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And so I don't know how they got my music. I just found out that I was nominated. And me and my wife was going to see, because the show's out in Vegas now.
Okay, yeah.
Me and my wife, they have a pre-show to the main Stellars. And so we were like, man, you know, it's the time. We got 4 kids. You know, we're out in Vegas, baby. Let's just kick it. You know, they're going to announce our name, but, you know, just like all the other years, we're not going to win. Let's just go kick it.
So you weren't even there?
So Bizzle called and say, bro, where you at? Because we're in the same, that's what I love about Christian hip hop, man, because brothers are brothers.
Yeah.
And even though we're in the same category, we're going against each other, he's holding me accountable. Like, I'm here. Where are you?
Where you at?
So Biz called me, so I was like, man, so I really felt convicted. Like, little bro called me like, man. So I had a suit. I had just got dry cleaned. It was in the back seat.
Wow.
I pulled over in some office part and changed right there in the car, and ran and went to the award show. It was halfway over when we were walking in. Maybe 5 minutes later, me and my wife and I walked in, and one of my buddies from Atlanta came with us. Well, he didn't come with us. He kind of met us, which is a part of this story too. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, we walked in, and we were sitting there, and they called our category, and they called my name.
Wow.
Now, I didn't enter into this, so I don't even know how they got my project.
Sure.
But it's just the hand of God to say when it's your time, it's your time.
That's it.
And so I was super shocked all the way up there. I had nothing prepared to say. I was honestly thanking God and really just trying not to be crying and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when God says it's your time, it's your time.
That's it.
You know, you can't even, I mean, you just have to be faithful till that time comes. And so, stupid story to it is, I'm sitting here, and one of my guys, I won't call his name, is sitting with us, And my wife is sitting next to me, so they call my name like Canton Jones. I'm like, oh Lord, baby, they just called my name. Take my phone, right? And dude is sitting on the other side of her. And he's like, hey bro, you want me to go with you? I'm like, nah, bro, you good? I got it. So I'm walking up. He was like, I'm gonna go with you. So I'm walking, and this, I can't say the word, is behind me, walking up. So at the same time, I'm in a maze and disgust. Like, come on, bro. This is my first Stella.
Let me have my moment.
Let me have some walk. Let me have a couple steps. So if you go through the history of Stella, of our Stella pictures, you'll see this one guy, 3 people in a formal attire, one cat with a sweater on, a red sweater, with a book bag because he had been peddling CDs. He just got kicked out of place for peddling CDs and kept saying he was with Canton Jones. And so anyway, long live 2.0. Anyway, my wife's like, she in the back like, why did you say it tonight? But they was my little brother, and it was an awesome moment, man. And then on Mother's Day, I surprised my mom with it. We had a dinner at her favorite restaurant. And the guys brought it out on a platter as if it was dessert. Wow. And I say, Mom, I present to you. I can't give it to Dad, but I present to you the ones that supported me from day one, literally. Yeah. My first Stella. And it's on my Instagram. And she cried, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. And so that's my Stella moment. You know, it's
amazing.
You know, so God is awesome, man.
Definitely well deserved. Most people associate you with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
But you're
from
originally
Florida,
from
bro.
Florida.
Yes, sir.
Originally from Florida. And I know you and your father were super tight, man.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that whenever I think about you, this is the honest truth, bro, I always think about how you and your dad were working on music.
Yep.
You're working on putting an album out.
Yep.
I remember you telling me that in the interview.
Yep.
We about to put my dad album out.
Yep.
And then obviously
He passed, yep.
You weren't able to do that, man. Just talk about growing up, man, the influence he had. I know he was a pastor.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of cats don't have, especially in this generation, don't even know what a father is, man.
Absolutely.
And didn't have that father. You know, sometimes if you didn't have a father, you got a father figure or uncle or something like that. But I had a real man of God. My dad was a pool guy. He did pools. We're from Florida. Everybody had a pool, and so he did pools for a living. That was his occupation. And we had a quartet group. And if you know anything about quartets, you got to have heirs, like Christian heirs, Jackson Southern heirs, Tonkin heirs. So we were the noble heirs, you know what I'm saying? Straight like that. So I grew up singing quartet.
Yeah.
And my dad, you know, when I was playing football, every time after the game, he would come to the game and then take us to go sing. And we would go sing, and that's kind of how we built our relationship. I don't think we kicked it a lot before 7, 8 years old because he would work so much.
He was working.
You know what I'm saying? But one of the lead singers had to be somewhere, and I would come to all the practices, and they asked, "Do you want to sing?" I'm like, yeah, you know. Do you want to be the leader of the group?
Wow.
Really? Okay, cool. So I was the guy out front. Hey guys, my name is Canton. I'm with the Noble Heirs. We're gonna sing an A&B selection. We're coming to you from Deerfield Beach, Florida, and we're gonna present our songs to you. Our intro is, because you had to have an intro song,
right?
You know, that you came in on, and I was that little guy singing with my dad, and so man, he would always encourage me. Bought my first equipment from pawn shop. You know, we were pawn shop people. You know, like if we saw it, then we know that there was another version of it in the pawn shop. So I built my whole studio in the pawn shop when we were growing up, and Dad was just so supportive of everything that I did, and I did a lot from basketball, football, trying to be in his group, then trying to have my own little group, then I had a little rap group, and everything. I never got any pushback. He was always supportive.
Wow.
You know, and so I always, when I started kind of really doing it full time, I wanted him to feel what I was feeling.
Sure.
Like, Daddy, man, I just went to Russia, man. I just went to Africa. I just went to Poland, man. I done been all over the world with this music. Like, come with me. You know what I'm saying? And so I had an opportunity to do a tour with him.
Yep.
I had an opportunity to take him on the road. one of the funny stories is he came out, for some reason he had leather pants. I'm like, Daddy, you
He from
wearing
that
leather?
era though. He from that era. You gotta let him. He from that era.
But the pants were too long, so it was like, what you want us to do? Take you to a seamstress? You want to find? I mean, we're not in our town, so we don't know what to do. He was like, go to Home Depot. Home Depot, man, my daddy duct taped them pants, bro. Yeah, straight duct tape him. So if you don't know anything about a duct tape him, you wait.
On the leather pants.
Yeah. So
clean.
And that was just my pop, man. So when he went home, you know, I talked to you about that, man. It took a while for me to get over that situation. Yeah. You know, but there's nothing like a dad to establish you. He was a pastor. He was a man of God. But it's different than being a pastor and a pastor to your kids. A lot of pastors don't know how to pastor their kids. They know how to pastor the church. They don't know how to pastor their home. Yeah. You know, and so my dad was a pastor at home. You know, all the kids respected his wisdom. We still live by some of his sayings today. One of the things that I live by, my wife jokes with me about, is when I'm nervous and feel like I'm outside, like, man, I should do worship here because these are worship people. You know, they don't want to hear no hip hop. These are worship people because I do praise and worship too. And
you kill the praise and worship though.
And he tells me, do what you do. They brought you here to do what you do. So don't get nervous about what you do. He's like, so his country saying was, do what you do and don't do what you don't do. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's profound, but that's real. So don't get outside your lane. Don't even be nervous to try to make something up. Just do what you do. And that confidence to just hear Dad's voice, you know, is the reason why, man, we still kicking. You know, we still at it. We still doing it. And God is faithful, man. Yeah.
All these years, I've always told you I wasn't going to hold this against you. Being that you was a Morehouse man and I'm a Howard grad.
That's right. but that's right.
How'd you get to Morehouse, bro?
A friend of mine, I was trying to come to Atlanta to do music. That was my goal. I had three choices, L.A., New York, and Atlanta. Wow. I'm from Deerfield Beach, which is near Fort Lauderdale, Miami. And so I wanted to get out of Florida. You know, I've been there all my life, but I wanted to go far enough. So I felt like, okay, L.A. was too far from Florida.
You only coming back twice a year, bro. Christmas and the summer.
That's that, you know. It. And so I felt like New York was too cold. Yeah. You know, I was like, man, that's just too much snow. So I settled with Atlanta. I had family there as well. And so now, how do I get there? I was a pretty good student in class, in school, in high school, but I applied to Georgia Tech and they turned me down.
They turned me down too.
They really?
I tried.
Okay,
they turned me down
so
too,
here we go.
We good.
So okay,
we good.
God.
We good.
And they turned me down because I missed their standards on the SAT by like 10 points, and I took it again.
Wow.
I took it again. And made the score, but I got, like I said, I hate to lose, so I get in my feelings. I was like, forget it.
I'm good.
And so my dude was like, I was like, man, so where you going to school? I never forget this. We're in high school. We're in the hallways. Where you going to school, man? I'm going to this place like Morehouse. I'm like, Morehouse? He was like, yeah, man, Martin Luther King went there. I was like, really? He was like, it's all dudes, though. I was like, oh, no, I ain't going to all dudes school. He was like, but all girls is like right there. It's like, and then he was like, you remember Different World? You know, Cosby Show, Different World. He was like, yeah. It was like, it's like that. I was like, really? Okay, bet. And then he had the application in his book bag. Wow. So I filled it out. I mean, you know, had an audition because I got in through the music scholarship, and the rest is history. That's how I got here. And but I got here to do music. I mean, I wasn't really focused on school. My mom was like, you better finish. You know, and I finished. I did graduate with a business degree. But I was focused on this music. Ever since I got in Atlanta, I was about music.
So did you? I always wondered this, because I wasn't sure about the timeline, because I actually heard about you after this happened. Mm-hmm. Did your first album come, and then you started doing worship at World Changers, or what was the order?
The order was I did an independent album.
That's what I'm talking about. The indie album.
It was called 20 Years. Yeah.
20, I got
so
that.
That was before World Changers.
Okay.
And then, I mean, because my story is, you know, I was doing mainstream. I was trying to be a producer. I didn't really want to do be an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be a producer and produce other artists. And so we ran into, I was doing this showcase in this club. But it was a Christian promoter in the club. And
Hence where the song came from, right?
Right. You know, well, so I'm like, okay. So I sang, I think I sang one of my R&B songs, two of my R&B songs, but I did a gospel acapella. And then he was like, hey, bro, I got this deal that I'm working with a major record label, and we need another artist to complete the deal, and this is what we're going for and all of that. And I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, my comment was, I was born and raised in church. I could do gospel for that money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. So I was like, okay, I feel like I could write some gospel music. And so I started writing. And I started studying the word to write good music.
To write the music. Then it changed your heart.
It changed my life,
Look at
bro.
that, man.
And so, and then finished that record, and I was shacking with that lady right there. You know, old people call it shacking. We was living out of wedlock for like 3 years. She would not let me go. You know, I'm joking. She looking at me. But and then we had a humble wedding, which was the most beautiful thing that ever happened in my life, and started going to church. She was going to Creflo Dollar Church, and started taking me there, and just started getting the word, and started working with the youth. Actually,
Yeah. Okay.
I started working with the youth, and one of our songs that we would do, which is one of the songs I've been doing over the years, was Password. There's no other name.
Oh yeah.
And so that was one of our big songs with the youth. And then I started. I was probably with World Changers probably 3 or 4 years before I even started doing praise and worship.
Wow.
In the dome.
Wow.
And going around traveling.
Yeah.
You know, that happened in 2006 or something like that.
Yeah.
And but we had been a part of the ministry for a while by then.
Wow.
And so I think just God was just getting me ready. And I even hear, like, in this part of my life, that every experience that I've had thus far is getting ready to be a part of what this big work that God is getting ready to make me do. Yeah. And so it was awesome. World Changers has always been great for us, for our career, the platform. It really took us to the next level. But God has been faithful to us, man.
I've always felt like each one of your albums, you always brought something new. To the game, to the table, but I really felt like Kingdom Business. That first one, bruh, like that solidified something, man. It just like it almost just ushered in a whole new era.
Amen.
In this whole urban scene, bro. Like, what was some of the stuff that you were dealing with, just on a personal level?
I can't
just
say it out loud.
It's like that.
I mean, it was war.
Yeah.
Creatively, we had. I feel like I just want to do something different all the time.
Yeah.
Want to be as creative as I could be musically, and so Kingdom Business was when I got a revelation of what the kingdom was.
Yep.
You know, ironically, we're at the Kingdom Choice Awards. So
there you go.
When people were talking Kingdom, I got it, but I didn't get it. And that year, I had to preach in Miami. We were at T.D. Jakes' church the night before, and I was asleep. And it's almost like this body fell on me in the middle of the night, and I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife's asleep, and my eyes are bloodshot red. My tears are I got tears in my eyes, but I'm not crying. So it's just like, what in the world is going on? And I was like, I understand.
Wow.
The kingdom. It's And so when I understood it, it just exploded in me. The work exploded in me. The movement exploded in me. We just started doing so many things, just trying to get people to understand what it was, And
you put on a lot of artists, though.
Right.
Over those, like Kingdom Business 2, Kingdom Business 3, like so many artists that you...
Because that was a part of, one thing about it is, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. And so when you're trying to spread the kingdom, when you're trying to spread it out, I felt like, man, signing one artist at a time is going to take too long. So let me just do compilations and put on that many people at one
people.
time. So that was my mindset of doing the compilations. So the first Kingdom Business turned into a compilation that I just wanted to help people because I felt like that's what the kingdom is about. Lighting torches, helping people, doing this, you know, and there was just so many principles that I was learning. And so, you know, on the other side of that, we had fights, bro. It was fights, things happening, you know what I'm saying? That you know, you can't really go public with, but you know, you just really just Jesus, you know, why in the world am I going through this, you know? And so Kingdom Business was a birth for us, just a new era. But you know, this last, I guess when it comes to Kingdom Business, there was such a fight during that project. I'm talking about creatively. I'm talking about from the pictures. I mean everything.
Well, I was going to say that was in an era when there was this big debate about word of faith theology and prosperity gospel and reformed theology and all of that, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and see, I didn't debate guys, man, because I don't really debate.
It was
you
smart.
Know what I'm saying?
That was wise.
I just don't debate. It's like theologians debate well.
Sure.
You know, people who study that. Like, I'm like, man, I don't know. Jesus just saved me, bruh. That's all I know. I'm like the blind man. I don't know about all that. All I know is I was blind, and now I can see. That's it. That works for me. Yeah. Give me the sight. You ain't got to explain how it happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the technicalities of it made people who didn't understand the technicalities of it frustrated, and they just like, man, I think selling drugs are a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? And so we just tried to dumb it down. Hey, man, get in the presence of God. Whatever he tell you to do, that's what you do. Get into a relationship with God. He's going to start to speak to your spirit and obey him. And y'all go and have y'all relationship, and y'all go do that. Now get into wherever God leads you to get the word, that's where you go. You know, and not necessarily putting people in hell for certain things so much. And so that debate, but we never debate. I never debated. Even when people tried to debate with me, I just kind of didn't. I was like, man, why would I debate with you about something that's working for me? Why would I get into an argument with you about something that's working for you and trying to change what's working for you, and you trying to change what's working for me? Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and that's fine. And so I really didn't get into a lot of debates with guys. Not even that I'm more into the word and know a lot more than I knew then about the word. Still won't get into a debate. Sure. You know, the Bible is for living. It's not for debate. You know, is the thing that you're arguing about, are you applying it to your life, and does it work? That's it. If it works, do it. If it doesn't work, then what you debating about? You're debating about something that you don't even believe yourself because it doesn't work for you. And so, what are we arguing about?
That's good.
And so, we need to, you know, to me, there's no debate. It's just do what God tell you to do, you know, and you know, and go from there. And so, there's just too many ways to God has so many ways. You know, the healings are not even the same. So you can't. There is no one way to do it. You know, he'll do this to heal the blind, and then he'll do something totally different for the same result. And so he's switching it up. I'm not trying to predict what God. I'm just telling whatever you tell me to do, that's what I'm doing. And I'm kind of simplifying that for my life, because the deeper you get into the Word, you could get more and more revelation, but you don't want to make up new hindrances for baby Christians.
Sure.
No, bro, you need to fast. Instead of fasting, God told you to fast 3 days. No, son.
Fast 20 days.
21 or go on the Daniel fast. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I only have faith to do it. Like, work your faith, bro. Work your faith. Do it. Do what God is telling you to do. And so that's, even as a new pastor, that's kind of what we're encouraging people to do.
No, that's good, man. I definitely want to talk to you about your church, man. I was totally not surprised when I heard you planted a church, bro.
You should have told me then.
Nah, man. You always had that. I mean, look, you just the way you even described the kingdom business, putting people on, pouring into people. You always had artists that you were putting on, pouring into, all of that stuff. I mean,
I came in not wanting to be the head guy.
Sure.
Which is weird, but I didn't. I wanted to be. When I first rededicated my life and started with the youth at World Changers, I found 5 people. My wife can tell you. I found 5 people to produce because that was my drive.
Yeah.
Produce, and then I started working with the kids. I was producing albums and records and stuff. And matter of fact, he's here tonight. The first guy, I did 3 songs on this guy named Mouthpiece.
Wow.
Before I even rededicated, before I even got married, we were still in Buckhead with the studio, baby. And so I did 3 songs on him because I just wanted to produce. I just liked sitting down and producing the music.
I didn't know you produced for Mouthpiece, bro.
Well, before he, way before, way before.
Yeah.
But Mouth is on Kingdom Business.
Sure.
And so he's always been one that I used to love lyrically. Like, man, you're a beast, you're a monster, And I'm always, as a producer, I'm a fan of artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never been a hater. I'm always like, what did God give you? Like, oh, that's amazing, them lyrics, whatever. And we want to put it together. So I think because how I got hired at World Changers to be the youth praise and worship leader, it made me kind of be out front to lead them, but I was kind of leading them for an example to say, okay, it's your go next.
Yeah.
And kind of that was discovered, and I just hadn't been able to sit down since, But my heart, and still my heart, is to produce men and women, and really do these crazy projects, man, that, take them to the top. I'm good. I like to be home with the kids. I'm a basketball coach for my daughter right now. My son, I want to give him pointers on football. He's 8. So I like the homebody chill thing. I just never had a chance to do that, And so
I remember we talked about that on the road one time, bro.
Yeah.
I never forget that conversation because it convicted me so much.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. And my kids, I wanted to. I just didn't want other people raising my kids.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want them to grow up saying that daddy wasn't there. But God has figured out a way and given me a way to juggle the situation. One, my wife controls everything, and so it's her fault if I don't go to the piano recital. You know what I'm saying?
You
because,
blame her?
Yeah, because I mean, if there's an outside manager, he's trying to. The more I work, the more he gets paid.
Sure.
And so inside, my wife handling it. We got it. The light bills are due now. But I need to be at this football game too. So we figured out a great balance on how to juggle the situation, so that I can do what I need to do for my family and do what God has called me to do. And so it's work, man. I think I'm super blessed, man, to have a wife to handle my business.
Sure.
Even in arguments, you gotta go back and talk to her because she got the flight information. Wait, you can't get mad and do the silent treatment, bro.
You done missed
You
the
gonna miss the
engagement.
flight, bro. So you go, hey man, hey, what time the flight leave, man? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
So it forces us to keep communicating, and we're going on 16 years of marriage, bro.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations,
Straight OG,
man.
right?
Yo, I think one of your proteges that is buzzing hard right now, 1K.
Oh yeah.
1K, man. Talk to us
so
about
proud
him,
of
man.
1K. 1K and his mom. When I started the church. Well, actually, Tonio brought 1K to me when I was a youth pastor at a Southern Baptist church. Remember, I was
I remember that.
I was a youth pastor at a predominantly white organization.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, bro.
That was awesome. I mean, I talk about it.
Yeah.
It was an awesome experience, and I love the great people.
Yeah.
And so when I was a youth pastor there, Tonio saw 1K and brought him to me over there. And so when I started to do the church plant, his mom and his dad was in my prayer meetings, and she would bring him to the prayer meetings as well. And so when I say literally day one, it was 1K, his mom, his dad, Tonyo, his daughter, his sister, his mom, and Riri was a girl that and they helped to establish Free Life, my church.
Sure.
And so 1K, his mom was like, wherever you go,
we go.
That's because she said regular church, which they call regular church, is not working for my son. It worked for, it's not working for him. And so I have a fear that he's going to get caught up out there.
Yeah.
And so I need something for him. So, I know over time, what we do may not be for the older ones, but they know that it's for their kids, or it's definitely their sons. And so, so proud of him. He was on my last project, I Am Justice. Every time I have a kid, I do a record. So my last baby, his name is Justice. So I did
the
that.
Millionaire, I Am Justice.
Love Jones. All my kids have a record. So so proud of. He's a workhorse.
Sure.
1K put out a record every week, if you let him. And so. Lyrically, it's just spewing out of him, and so proud of him because he works hard for it. He's not not an arrogant kid, very humble kid, very creative kid, got dumb swag, and so we're very proud of him. As a pastor and a mentor, somebody asked me, is he changing now that he's being put on? No, he's not changing, but I expect him to be busy, and I want him to go away.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know that life.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people don't know that life, they don't understand that he has to go. Yeah. He got to be busy. He can't call you as much. Oh, you don't come around as much. Man, the man in Vegas. Yeah. Like, let him work. Let him grow, and let him be great. You know what I'm saying? And so I think with his development, man, that it's our job, me to help, as much as I can to be there as his pastor, and his brother, whenever he needed advice, he come to me. Before he knew Lecrae, he was asking me about that situation.
Wow.
Like, look, I told him personally, they're gonna take care of you. You need to go there. Yeah. You need to take care of that situation. And regardless of what this thing about, over the years about that, that's never been there with me and 116. Yeah. Not on my end, and I was like, that's a perfect situation for you, boy. Go, ask for this, do this, go, and he did it. And
I always wished you and Lecrae would have done a song together at some point.
I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over. We had one of the biggest snowstorms in Atlanta fell on the day we had a session.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, y'all had 2 inches of snow?
Hey, it was what? It wasn't a lot of. Well, it was 2 or 3.
Y'all get a dust and the city shut down.
But look, they was trying to hold out this year.
Yeah.
And end up buses sliding down hills. Dang. And it was
crazy.
Horrible.
Yeah,
some elementary school kids couldn't go home. They was there for 24 hours. So it was a horrible situation, and we couldn't drive. And so I was like, man, golly, the one day we would get together, bro. Like,
that happened. I do hope you. I do, like, honestly, bro. I think musically.
Yeah, it would be crazy.
It would be insane. Yeah. But I think even just for the body of Christ, man.
Yeah.
And all the stuff we talked about. Yeah. It would still be massive.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And I think just to kill assumptions, there's nothing there. I mean, Lecrae's my brother. He's been my brother for years. We talk on and off. He's busy. I'm busy. Of course, he's very busy. But this thing,
I think it was more the fans, bro. I never personally thought it was
really.
y'all. Yeah, I thought it was the fans, I never thought
really,
it was y'all.
And then the guys on my end, we just didn't know, like, where is this coming from? Yeah. And we didn't know. Plus, we weren't mature to have that discussion.
The convo.
We weren't mature enough as black men. It's just I think right now, because we just didn't understand, and a lot of stuff happens when, a lot of stupid stuff happens when people just don't have an understanding. Sure. Man, you weren't saying that. You were saying this. Oh, man, we thought you were saying this. Like, no, I wasn't saying that. you know. But when you come from different places, this means this and this means that. And so I just felt like with wisdom, man, we just be quiet and just until God say something, be quiet, and you know, and so you know. Some people, one dude said, "Man, listen to this. He talking about you on here." I was like, "How you? He ain't talking about me. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not about me,
Yeah.
man. You starting stuff.
Yeah.
Get out of here." You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just did what God told me to do and just wrote that the low road it. And so, but look, 1K Phew.
Yep.
It's gonna change the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one more after that, one more after that, one more after that. And so it's about uniting the body. It's not about tearing things apart. And as African American men, we definitely need to stay together. We cannot fight in the body. I mean, you see what's going on around the world. We cannot fight. So I didn't even want to bring that embarrassment on the kingdom.
Sure.
You know, I didn't even want to go. I was like, Lord, I don't even want to bring the embarrassment on you. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to just keep rolling.
You got a new EP.
Greatness.
Talk about it, man.
It's called Greatness, man.
That lead single, Won't He Do It?
Man, it's
Hey, you about to make young. I was telling Daniel, my producer, you gonna make young people want to get back into youth choirs with that record, bro.
Hey,
I'm serious,
as a pastor,
yeah,
I had to figure out a way to say, okay, I got all these kids. We got my wife is here. 70, 80 kids as a new. We launched 2 years ago.
Wow.
So we got like 70, 80 kids.
This church has been around 50 years. They ain't got 70, 80 kids.
And bro, our kids are like they run full speed at the church. Like
they
oh
going.
my God, yeah. From the time they get dropped off, and my kids are a part of that. They just run around, and so I was like, man, let's figure out a way to put church with hip hop, you know. And I know
you're the right person for that.
Well, I just know a lot of artists as of late have been using church choirs.
Yep.
You know, and so
Yep.
I was like, well, man, let me do one and make it a little dirty. You know what I'm saying? And so we actually was in the studio saying, man, you know, what's a church saying that everybody say? And we ran through all of them.
Hilarious.
And my guy, Abstract, who did the track, well, we all did the track together, but he had the first part of the track. And when we played the track, we was like, there's no way that could be a church song.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know, bro. Let's just try it. So it was an experiment.
Yeah.
And man, we got most added in the country 2 weeks ago on radio, and on gospel radio that's 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago we were most added in the country on Urban XT.
Wow.
And so right up under mainstream artists,
wow.
You know. And
that's
so
massive.
I haven't had
Won't He Do
a
It?
song this progressive in a long time. And so God is awesome. He's faithful, and just when you thought, well, you know, I've done my time, he pull you back out, you know. And so I'm honored.
Honestly feel like you are a musical genius, my brother, and you can do this in your sleep as long as you want, bro.
Praise God. Thank you, man.
Honestly, bro.
Thank you. I got to keep dyeing my hair then, bro.
Hey, man, I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying.
I gotta keep dyeing my hair. But I mean, I feel like music, man. I feel like there are things that I want to do musically, that just experimental music that I want to do. That you know, I want to do a band hip hop track. No, I call it no click track.
Okay.
Just band.
Just a straight band.
And just, you know, see how that comes out. And you know, I want to do something with an orchestra. I want to do a piano.
Wow.
I just want to, one record I just want to sing. You know what I'm saying? One, I want to do a hip hop praise and worship, which I feel like Won't He Do It is the first song that's leading over to this hip hop praise and worship to show churches how the hip hop generation worships and how we praise God, and that you don't have to be afraid of it, because you got a lot of these other people are embracing it, just not our churches, which is
it's crazy.
It's insane to me.
It's crazy.
You know, you got all of these white churches that embrace hip hop
They've been embracing it for years.
and use it as a tool to minister to their kids, and we don't.
Come on.
And I do not understand it. It is our art form. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, what do we need to do to reach the youth? Play the beat. It's so simple. It's so simple. Play the beat. Pastor. If you want them across the street to come to your church, play the beat.
Man,
That's it. You know, because doing the organ and playing the drums, and that's not gonna work. And you know it's not gonna work. But the whole thing is, should I change to reach the lost, or should I just complain because I'm not reaching the lost? And so that's all you have to do. Play the beat. When they hear the beat, they're gonna be like, the beat is coming from in there. You know. Anyway, the Bible says the sound of the Lord. The sound of the Lord, when Adam and Eve sinned and they ate the fruit and they ran out of the presence of the Lord, the Bible says the sound of the Lord was walking in the cool of the day, and so the presence of God was represented by sound, and so at this point, everybody has returned back to their sound except us. You look at it. Jamaican people got Jamaican worship. Yeah. Bahamian people got Bahamian worship. Yeah. White people got rock worship and rock mainstream. Everywhere around the country, we're the only ones that when you get saved, you got to change your whole sound. Bruh. We're the only ones in the whole world that when we get saved, we have to change our whole sound. Golly. Everybody else in the world, every other ethnicity in the world can worship in the mainstream and in spiritually with the same sound.
Got it, bro.
We're the only ones that when you get saved, you got to change the sound, and God gave you a sound. So His presence is represented by a sound, and everybody has returned back to their sound. So I can say to you right now, rock, white boy, pop, white girl, R&B, black girls. That's their target audience. Sure. Hip hop, black male. All right? Everybody has a rendition of a spiritual sound, but ours is demonized. Why is that? We're the only ones, bruh. You think about everybody in this world, they have a mainstream sound and a spiritual sound to the same thing. And we're the only ones that when you get saved, when you give God your heart, you have to transition your sound. And that is demonic. That is not God. And so when black men learn to worship to their sound, revival, look for it.
Hey, bro, what's your PayPal?
No, don't.
We need to take up an offering right now
don't do that.
for that message right now, bro.
I'm just saying,
let you finish.
That's why I do it. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you're doing, because the culture is getting ready to shift. Because when the mainstream starts, then they still want to keep their sound, but now they're looking for God. There's still a void there. They're gonna start. Whether you call it conscious rap or whatever it is, there is a void that they want to worship with this music. But every time we come with a worship rendition, mainstream black music as a whole demonize the spiritual sound. It's the same sound. No, you're supposed to sound like this. Wow. And so it's amazing, but it's demonic, man. It's demonic. You don't tell Bahamian people to change their sound. You don't tell Jamaican people to change their sound. I've been to Africa. They worship to the same music that we was in the club. It's the same music, same sound. Different lyrics. Anyway, I'm sorry about that.
Man, listen, bro. I don't even know where we go from here, man. You know where we going from here? We about to go give you your award up here tonight, brother.
Praise God, man.
It's honestly, man, what you just communicated right here, bro. That's why you deserve everything that's coming to you, bro. That's why you got this stellar award. That's why you getting honored at the Kingdom Choice Awards. And here's the thing, bro. This still just the start, man.
Amen. I receive that.
This still just a start.
I receive that, man.
Hey, family, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave us a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts on what we were just discussing. Also, if you want to book me
for your next event, whether you got a concert, a party, a youth function, a corporate event, whatever it is, send us an email. It's booking@wadeoradio.com. I'd love to DJ your next event.